an eternal life. Sometimes we can say that if I will have to ask each and every one of you, and probably if you can look forward and probably to be honest, kamo on your own. What do you think will you be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and maybe as long as you in the old time, old year, when your old years will come, what will you be?
The Yanson Group of Bus Companies is an established family corporation founded and owned by spouses Ricardo and Olivia Yanson. The name Ricardo and Olivia became synonymous to success. From a single jeepney, the transport business has grown into what is now known as the premier transport player in the Southeast Asia. On August 18, 2012, Olivia V. Yanson and the late Dr. Ricardo B. Yanson turned over the baton of leadership and named their youngest son, Mr. Leo Ray V. Yanson, as President and CEO of Yanson Group of Bus Companies.
I am glad to formally announce to you that our son, Leo Ray Yanson, have our blessings and complete confidence in leading and managing the affairs of the Yanson Group of Bus Companies. I'm asking all of you now to put your wholehearted trust and confidence in them and your unwavering commitment in the pursuit of making our vision future a reality, and your loyalty for the sake of the company and to its employees, which is very important.
Being the new president and CEO, LRY introduced significant improvements, and through his excellence, immense dedication, and passion, his siblings, namely Roy V. Yanson, Emily V. Yanson, Maria Lourdes Celina Yanson Lopez, and Ricardo V. Yanson Jr., who later came to be known as the Yanson Four, showed and gave him their support, trust, and utmost confidence.
Anyway, I just want to tell you, I am here to support my brother. Maskin lain kami nga kampo. But kami nga duwa, why kami niyang problema. Planggaanay kami ni nga duwa.
Si Leo Ray Yanson, for the past 12 or 13 years diri sa inyo, so kanako sa inyo na improve lang. Leo Ray, pag ano na, pagbulo siya sa akon, so 200% ang iya na increase. So palakpak. For 11 years, siya gano sa inyo tanan eh. Kagay no, na mayo man siya mag-manage sa inyo. So palakpak tabi siya, okay?
However, unbeknownst to OVY, LRY, and LRY's sister, Mrs. Jeanette Dumangkas, a plot for the ouster of LRY was being hatched by the Yanson Four. 5 days after, or on July 7, 2019, LRY along with the vice presidents of YGBC were illegally ousted and removed by the Yanson Four in a clandestinely conducted board meeting. The Yanson Four took control and management over the VTI Mansilingan head office and forcibly replaced the AGNSA security guards with the AY-76, armed with what later turned out to be a defective order from the Supervisory Office for Security and Investigation Agencies or SOSIA.
Bala mo, kita nyo naman siguro ang sa newspaper, ang kagapon na tabo kagapon na nga may pag-una kita sa mga presidente nga si Yanson ang atong nga magulang, amo nga magulang nga halin sa una siya na tiyang presidente.
Okay, I executed memorandum yesterday ng apat na Vice President, or lima. We will take over the position sa mga Vice President. Ako ba as elected President, subong ako tumala sa operation alay until we stabilize everything, including Mindanao and Luzon.
Despite this, several employees who know the truth remained steadfast in their support to Mr. Leo Ray V. Yanson as the president and CEO who was appointed by his mother and late father. OVY never winced nor cried in public, but remained resolute in her role both as a mother and matriarch of the corporation. OVY knew that the Y-Force removal of LRY as president was illegally done and would be detrimental to the company's growth, so she gave her full support to her son, LRY. This, however, made her own children turn against her.
Nami ba na? Magkakaroon lang sila din. Nagawin lang sila manage din sila naman. Tapos, hindi ko parang hindi ko galing. Ako nga, hindi man galing. Kasi mapakaya ko dila. Kamu niya, napantayan nila ako ang tata. Kita nga nila ako tata. Ako lang inyo na. Ha? Inyo na. Wala ko yung bago. Ay, kaya ko yung buhay sa inyo. Bakon, ano sa upo ko pagbuhay ko sa ako ako. Ayaw kay mga sinilang, ay, love you, mami. Bayo ba na na? Kahuluyan ang nila. Kaya hindi ba ko tani galok? Hindi ba lang? Kung galok ako, hindi nag-amo ini ang ako. Kung galok ako.
To revert to the status quo and prevent the Yanson 4 from forcibly and illegally claiming the other YGBC branches, LRY together with his mother OVY and his sister GYD filed the complaint with the court to declare null and void the board meeting that led to his ouster. The Yanson 4 were too greedy for the position and perhaps too drunk with their wrong idea of power. They went on and removed all the managers, supervisors, and employees who supported LRY, OVY, and GYD. On July 20, 2019, the Yanson 4 illegally took over the VTI Bacolod South Terminal, but were met with a staunch but calm opposition in the persons of VTI's several employees, security guards, and supporters of LRY, OVY, and GYD. However, this did not stop the Yanson 4 from forcibly taking over the South Terminal.
Yes, ano talaga na eh.
All you're asking is pag-clarify tayo sa babaw, sir. Until
Arena, ano lang, just ano lang sa order. Aran ang order.
Pertain to the termination of by the acts now. By the...
Please stand down na kumanay, bla. Pagkat na kumanay, pwede. Pagkat na kumanay. Please, stop down. Why na sila? Terminated na sila. Okay.
Hindi lang pasugot pa ng iba. Sige.
No.
They manhandled the AGNSA security guards and personnel loyal to OVY and brought them to the police precinct despite not committing any crime. Thereafter, the Yanson 4 proceeded to the North Terminal in Barangay Bata and attempted to take over the same, but such efforts proved to be in vain as LRY and GYD were already there.
Nag-request ang akong apat kautod sa PRO nga kung kagindingay ni Honorable Judge Saison in open court. Sa dito nga ugada, gahambal nga yung status quo anay balatanan. Wala sa intimidation, wala sa harassment, wala sa hanan. Ang among diyan subong ni Leore, ginaubra namon tanan nga ang aton nga empleyado, no? They will have the danger to the lives of the employees, no, is our utmost concern.
Ako, tugay na ko diri sa inyo. Ha? 12 years na ako diri sa inyo. Kung anong makita nyo din sa CERES liner, tulad man sa pagbulig ninyo na nagmayo ng kumpanya. Ako kapati kuya, na aning kumpanya nagdako tungod sa tao, hindi niya tungod sa akin. Pero kaklaro to kagapon kay nag-meeting kami with Judge Saison, kami lang apito, nga dapat tani kumiyara lang bala peaceful resolution sa amon pamilya. Ako, takaan man ko gamo. So nagkadto ako dito sa iya balay para nga maistoryahan lang. Iti gamo pamilya ni mo, way kamo kaya dapat dito. Ang akon lang ginapangayo sa inyo, ari kamo gapamati. Patihon talang bala ang korte.
Araman sa piyak o araman sa diri sa piyak man, but rest assured ang among category is for peace.
No, kung hindi ka mo gusto ka mo, gano'n ka mo din. Kung nakasabi kita sa korte, na diri nyo ginapaagi sa mga gwardiya. Kinkuha nila ni Mansinigan Sunday sa gabi. Ang iya na ginambal dito sa kay Judge Saison, ang iya kuno nga mga gwardiya batutalan ang dala. Mapati ka mo sila.
On July 25, 2019, the Yanson 4 attempted a simultaneous takeover of VTI branches in Dumaguete and Bacolod North.
She's our mother.
Sa mother na lang.
Mother. We are she's one of the founder, but she has no share.
These takeovers, however, proved futile as the Yanson 4 could not infiltrate the branches.
The event happened actually on July 25, 2019 at around exactly 10:50 p.m. So I went there in the garage and I found out that they already forcibly entered into the premises without the consent of the owner, who is actually the owner of the property in question. It is not owned by BTI but rather it is owned by no other than Olivia Yanson. So their entry there is actually a trespassing. Roy Yanson and Ricardo Yanson, together with the 20 securities and 4 staffs. And at around 4:45 p.m., because it is a trespassing, these persons were arrested by the PNP personnel.
As provided in a SOSHA circular, there shall be no change of security guards in cases of intracorporate disputes. This simply means that the existing security guards shall remain undisturbed until the intracorporate dispute is resolved. It was for this reason that, on August 6, 2019, after recognizing a mistake in the previous order installing the AY-76 security guards, Camp Crame sent members of the Philippine National Police to assist SOSHA in enforcing an order of pulling out of AY-76 and reinstalling AGNSA at Bacolod South Terminal and VTI Mansilingan Head Office. However, the Yanson 4 refused to heed the order, and at 7 o'clock in the morning of the same date, They used several buses to barricade and block any enforcer who will attempt to enter the VTI Bacolod South Terminal. The presence of these enforcers was specifically for the purpose of serving the social order, maintain peace, and prevent any untoward chaos that might arise from the Yanson Force resistance. Meanwhile, at the VTI Mansilingan head office, the supporters of the Yanson 4 locked the main gate in an effort to prevent the enforcement of the social order. They even placed a wing van truck blocking all entrance to the head office. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon of the same date, the management of AY-76 Security Agency finally ordered its guards to obey the social order and to vacate Bacolod South Terminal and Mansilingan head office. Thus, on August 7, 2019, the AGNSA security guards were restored to their positions. CYL met with the LRY supporters while RSY remained held up at the VTI South Terminal Admin Office and an argument ensued.
Who sent you here?
Wait, I'm not answerable to you, anybody, okay? So you no, I don't appreciate the tone. I don't appreciate the tone.
As one of the owner, please
Yes,
ask.
yeah. As owner of,
Of Hoya Car Transit.
I'm sorry, but that's not how it works under the law.
Why?
Even assuming for the sake of argument that we own
Yes.
shares, we don't own the assets of the corporation. That's not how it works.
Hello? I don't own the assets of the corporation?
I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. Yes.
It's the owner who's talking to you. Is it true that I, as owner, not allowed here in the...
No, I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
What did you say?
I said very simply, because you said as owner, right? I simply said that as owner, you don't own the assets of the corporation. Owner because you don't own the shares.
Yes. But it's the company's property. I'm so sorry.
Yes, but LRY is still the president. LRY is still the president. LRY is still the president.
The supporters of LRY and the illegally removed employees attempted to enter and return to their posts, but they were prevented by RSY and CYL together with their supporters who still remained in the premises. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon of the same date, RSY and CYL, along with their advisors and lawyers, stepped down from the VTI Bacolod South Terminal, apparently taking all the computers, CPU, and cash with them. On August 8, 2019, the Yanson 4 gathered at VTI Mansilingan head office and made it as their stronghold. And despite the legal order of SOSHA, the Yanson 4 through EY instigated the people to resist the enforcement of the said legal order.
At pagkaon, puligan nyo lang kami diri. Mag-ano ka mo damang people power malasagwa mo.
It was at this day that several buses of VTI Bacolod South Terminal, instead of taking their usual route, were diverted to the compound of Dynamic Builder, which is owned by RJR, where their daily collection were remitted. At 4 o'clock in the morning of August 9, 2019, the PNP wanted to open the gate but were met with strong resistance from those who were inside the VTI head office. An employee of VTI who were with the camp of LRY and OVY went to cut off the hinges of the main gate using an acetylene torch in order to gain access, but a supporter of the Yanson 4 poured thinner from inside the head office premises. As the thinner was a highly combustible chemical, it was instantly caught by the acetylene torch and the VTI personnel was engulfed in flames. Luckily, he survived, but his hand was severely burned. A portion of the cemented perimeter fence of the head office was destroyed in order to gain access to the inside of the head office premises. And at around 6 o'clock in the morning of the same date, the PNP was finally able to enter the VTI head office and cleared the area. The PNP helped in the peaceful enforcement of the SOSHA order, advised all the personnel inside to leave and clear the premises. This paved the way to the re-entry of the AGNSA guards. The Yanson 4 boarded their vehicles and left the VTI head office. The police found several improvised bombs and deadly weapons left in the head office premises. Several company-owned trucks, important documents, and computers were also lost and missing. After everything that happened, LRY, OVY, and GYT, together with their supporters, finally recovered full control of the VTI Mansilingan head office, VTI Bacolod South Terminal, and the other branches of YGBC. Upon recovery, LRY, OVY, and GYT began to repair the damages caused by the recklessness of the Yanson 4, and up to this day, they continue to rebuild, restore, and help the company get back on its feet. And while the corporation has seemingly returned to a sense of normalcy, several cases are still pending in the courts. Several cases filed by LRY, OVY, and GYD has led to the issuances of a number of warrants of arrest for the crimes of carnapping, violation of Public Service Act, grave coercion, falsification of public documents, and perjury against the Yanson 4 and their cohorts. Every day since that takeover, OVY has been in pain for the disrespect and dishonor that 4 of her children, her own flesh and blood, did to her. But the heavens would not allow that the cries of a mother be left unheard. On October 21, 2021, the court appointed OVY as special administratrix of the estate of RBY. This means OVY is now in charge of the entire estate of RBY, including RBY's financial accounts, his lands, buildings, and shares of stocks in YGBC. She has full power and authority to administer and to manage these properties, except sell them, in which case she has to ask the court's permission. OVY is now restored to a place where she rightfully belongs, having a say in the family business which she and her husband gave their entire lives to build.
Hindi man kamo salamat gid sa inyo pag pakita sa inyong hugma sa ako na mo din lang na